Salutations, kindred souls. Welcome to the first episode of Lux Martin Enlightenment again. I'm Lux, and I've re recorded this episode several times now, and I finally decided to kind of trash them and we'll call it practice because this feels more me, and I'm ready to shed those layers of me. I've also discovered in becoming a content creator that editing is not yet my favorite part of content creation, so you're going to get the real raw me from start to finish, and we're gonna do it live, yeah? So, this channel is about enlightenment and the process of it. And before you get all turned off about, oh, this is too woo woo, this is too transcendent for me, keep in mind that the definition of enlightenment is simply awareness and understanding. And I consider myself an expert integrator in the way I want to share what enlightenment is, because I don't feel that enlightenment is transcending above life. It's the integration of everything you take in from this human experience to create that is an enlightened experience or the most enjoyable version of this human life that you can have. And the reason I consider myself an expert on this is because I've spent maybe the last 5 years or so taking in enormous amounts of all things self development. And what I've found is that there's three major avenues in which you can approach that. There's the avenue of the psychology and the mind and theoretical concepts that shape a human as to who they are based on what they've been through, what they think, and if and what you're going to do about it to get a different result. Then there's the spiritual aspect of leaning a little bit away from theoretical thought concepts, psychology, leaning into the divine, the unknown, leaning into that faith aspect of this is how I got here, this is who I'm meant to be, this is what I'm meant to become. Higher power, God, universe, show me the way, show me how to get to the next step. And that has its own very healing and unique aspect of self growth and development in itself. And then there's the piece that I tended to forget for a long time, which is a third part of the triad that you just can't leave out, which is your human experience. Your physical human body takes in an experience and processes and filters it and expresses it in ways that are detached from both the mind and the spirit. And if you don't pay attention to what the human body is saying to you, it makes for a rough ride. So I have spent the last 5 years, like I said, what the beginning of what I would consider an awakening of taking in enormous amounts of all different aspects of this information. And what I've found is that I really want to talk about how to integrate all three of those pieces so that you have a really well-versed toolbox of this human life so that you can end up enjoying the ride and having a really great, amazing, worthwhile human life experience based on the utilization of all three of those things. You don't need to be an expert in any one of them, but you should definitely try to incorporate all three of them to get not only the best version of you, but the best human experience you can have. So that's what this channel is going to focus on is we're going to dabble back and forth of psychology, the mind, the spirit, the soul, the divine, the higher wisdoms from which you seek enlightenment, as well as how your, as I will always affectionately call it, how your human carcass is processing all of this. Okay, so don't take it too darkly. That's just how I like to refer as my human. Okay, my human carcass is processing all of these things and expressing it to me in a way of like, hey, this is great, or hey, you're having a really hard time with this. You better adapt. So yes, welcome to Lux Martin Enlightenment, and thank you so much for starting this journey with me. I appreciate getting to be so authentic with you and that you're starting this journey with me from a place of the real beginning. And as much as I can appreciate how lovely and wonderful and amazing all my mentors publish their content, they have a very polished, sophisticated, put together look. We don't all start like that. And I want to be the one that can get real enough with you to show you what it looks like beginning from your bedroom and not this beautiful studio with a producer and all of these things and the best mic and lighting and all kinds of things that make content creators wealthy, famous, polished, put together, the whole package deal, because I'm positive they didn't start like that. And I hope that me, as well as any of you else out there that are inspired to do so, end up there, but you got to start somewhere. So thank you for beginning again with me here, which rounds out the conclusion of this very first episode of what it is to begin again. And so the nice part about having to redo this episode a few times is that it re-emphasizes or reiterates the beauty of you get to start over at any moment in time, again and again and again. And that is so freeing and so beautiful and so important, because you only get every now moment. And if you want to call this now moment the moment you start again, go for it. And then 10 minutes later, if you need that now moment to be the now moment where you start again, go for it. There is no one stopping you. And that is precisely what you should be doing with every now moment of your life. And if at some point along your human journey you realize that you're not super thrilled with the version standing in front of you, you get to begin again and again and again. And that is the epitome of enlightenment, embodiment of moving forward in this human experience. The most present you can completely be is choosing that every moment is the opportunity to begin again. And it's just so freeing and so beautiful. And what a perfect way to start this channel than by showing you that yet again, I am going to begin again. This channel was born out of some hot mess express moments that have built up some momentum in my life, in which I am so completely ready to show you what it is to begin again and again and again. And all of those create this series of chapters in this beautiful novel that is your life, incorporating the mind, the soul, and the human experience together as a triad. And man, can it be one awesome ride. And I hope that someday I get to look back on this and go, what a freaking awesome woman with a life worth having. And I hope that you get to say that about your life too. And I hope that something I say or show you along this journey is going to be helpful in that. So continue on, stick around, subscribe to hang out with me and enjoy this journey of what is enlightenment. Enlightenment is not floating above life. It's the kind of evolution and transcendence you find integrating all of it right in the middle of it. So again, I'm Lux. Welcome to Enlightenment, Lux Martin Enlightenment. And keep seeking, keep softening, keep showing up. And remember, the light that you are seeking may just be the light that you already are.